Things are being thrown. There's no room for this in the sport. There's no room for the Davis brothers to be in the building tonight. The police escorted them out. You saw.
Shit happen all the time. Should be happening.
Hey, Mark,
by my right.
Wait,
No.
we got that fight coming up.
You gotta beat it, bro.
We got that fight coming up for sure.
What was meant to be a routine media stop before a packed boxing season just exploded into a viral moment. Gervonta "Tank" Davis and Jake Paul ran into each other right on the Vegas Strip, and it ended with Jake Paul landing a punch straight to Tank's face. Yes, seriously. The YouTuber-turned-boxer just made the most reckless move of his career by swinging at one of boxing's most feared fighters. The clash happened inside a private media room at a high-end Vegas hotel, where both were there for different interviews. Now, the whole internet is watching in shock.
I gotta ask you, how real or what was to it with you and Tank actually being a thing? Was that something that was talked about?
Yeah, no, it was highly talked about and in negotiations and almost ready to make happen, but he has to do his rematch with Lamont and get that W, and then we'll be able to run it back. But me and Gervonta were scheduled to fight for sure.
These two had been trading shots online for weeks, and when they finally came face to face, it blew up instantly. No hesitation, no holding back. The tension snapped the moment they locked eyes.
Oh, Lord. I'm sorry. I'm just in a silly, goofy mood.
Sources say Tank walked in cool and focused, with that cold locked-in look he's known for. Jake, on the other hand, was loud and hyped up, full of energy. The tension between them had clearly reached its peak, and at that point, nothing could stop what was coming. Not security, not the cameras, not even the business side of things.
Actually, nice to get that camera right there.
What's going on?
What's up, Floyd?
I can have what I want.
What's your name with the camera? Oh, you got camera too. So what you supposed to be?
In an instant, Jake stepped up and threw a real punch. Not a slap, not a shove, a straight-up swing. Chaos erupted. Phones went flying, bodyguards rushed in, and the whole room turned into a frenzy. Everyone's asking the same thing. How did it even get to this point? Why is a YouTuber going at one of the most feared knockout machines in boxing? And why would Jake risk it all, especially now, with everything on the line?
Yeah, no, we're working on it behind the scenes to make that happen, and obviously that's a fight where the fans are going to win, and it's going to be the biggest event of the year.
What weight would you fight him at?
We're working on it, but it'd be an exhibition most likely.
The answer's simple. This isn't just about money, it's personal. Jake Paul wants respect. He's tired of being labeled the outsider, the sideshow. He's taken down ex-UFC champions, knocked out athletes, but people still hit him with the same line, fight a real boxer.
How about Jake? What do you think of Jake?
Clown.
Yeah.
He's a clown.
Would you look at it as a joke if someone, if your team was like, yo, we want you to fight Jake Paul? Would you be like, come on, man?
I laugh at him. Like, you want me to fight him?
You think it'll ever come to the point where you're going to mix into, I mean, you're obviously doing the real shit, but will it ever mix into the point where the money's big enough
Yeah,
for
would you ever
to
do a
take...
fight like that?
I feel as though in my career I can't do that right now.
And Gervonta Davis? He's that real boxer. The gold standard when it comes to knockout power. A pound-for-pound monster with speed, skill, and a highlight reel that gives fight fans goosebumps.
Tank Davis. Bad dude. See, what I like about Tank is Tank brings something different. You know, back in the days, everybody had something. Muhammad Ali was a mover boxer, George was a puncher, Ernest Shavers was a puncher. Everybody had something they brought to the table. Larry Holmes had a jab. Mike Weaver had overhand right. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has something. That division now is full, and Tank having to be the knockout guy of the division. He the one with the main knockout power. Garcia has it too, but Tank got that real knockout power that, like, if Tank hit one of them clean, usually they gonna have a problem. So it's like, I like Tank. Every now and then, I think when he knows he can beat somebody, he probably don't lock in as hard, but I think when they bring challenges, he locks in.
Yeah, he fights at the level of his competition.
Yes,
he was doing that a lot.
And he gotta be careful with that.
2 fights ago, he was really doing that.
You feel me? So you gotta be careful of that, because if you come in and think somebody is not at your level and you underestimate them, it can get you beat. So that's the only thing I think you gotta be careful of. Other than that, Tank is a really good fighter.
So when Tank called out Jake after the Tyson incident and made it personal, Jake took it seriously. And now, here we are.
Who were you gonna call out? What was the plan originally?
I think he was here.
He came in my locker room.
Shakur Stevenson?
He wasn't in my locker room.
Jake Paul?
Next question.
Man, god damn, that's not the Gervonta I know.
But this punch, it was different. This wasn't just hype or some WWE-style stunt. It was real, raw, violent, and dangerous. The kind of hit that could change everything. What makes it even more complicated? This wasn't meant to happen now. Both fighters had already signed on for a huge exhibition fight this November, the same kind of big-money event Floyd Mayweather made famous.
After Canelo, obviously, didn't materialize, was the next one Tank?
Yeah. I mean, that was on the 1 yard line as well, but he has to rematch, Lamont Roach. He wants to get that back. And then we'll be back in discussions with Mr. Gervonta. But, man, this is the nature of boxing. You have massive fights on the 1 yard line and things just fall through.
As you're watching, he was a gigantic favorite, and this is on the heels of the Canelo thing. Are you like, what the fuck is going on here?
I don't know, though, because I never really thought Tank was that good. It would just take the right fighter to pick him apart, to be honest. Someone who had high activity and wasn't afraid of his power. So I always saw so many holes in his game. So to me, it wasn't that surprising that someone finally gave him some good work.
If you do fight, what weight would it be at?
195.
Oh, wow. So he would go all the way from 40 to 95?
Yeah, I mean, it would be an exhibition.
Okay. And so what does that mean? Is that 3-minute rounds?
Yeah, 10 3-minute rounds.
And when you say exhibition, what are the restrictions on that?
No restrictions, just the fact that we couldn't actually get it professionally sanctioned.
Okay. Is that still of interest to you? Like if he wins the rematch and you beat Julio, is that of great interest to you later this year?
For sure.
It was planned to be all about show, a Netflix event bringing in millions. Jake versus Tank was meant to be a blockbuster cash grab, not a serious rivalry.
Paul and Tank get into a heated altercation in the street. Things escalated quickly with Paul throwing hands. Who you got if they step in the ring?
But now, this isn't just about money, it's personal, and the stakes have changed. Gervonta Davis is in a tough spot. He's still facing the fallout from his controversial draw with Lamont Roach, with the rematch in August hanging over him like a storm. In that fight, Tank didn't just seem beatable, he looked distracted, sloppy, and vulnerable.
When he fought Lamont, it was like he was there, but he wasn't there for real. When you watch all his other fights, you can see his eyes just look different. When he walked into the ring with Lamont, it was just yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, because you heard in the press conferences, he was just saying he was just real irritated. He didn't really seem like
he just felt like I think he just trained just to get by. I think he trained to just do 12 rounds. And I mean, the Tank that I know, the kid that you punch him in the face, he go crazy. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or if I'm down on the scorecards, I'm gonna go out and go get it. I didn't see it that fight, and I understand it too. When us as fighters, when you get to a certain point in life, sometimes you just don't want to do it.
And Roach, he fought to win. That 9th round knockdown that got waved off sparked a huge debate in boxing. Critics claimed Tank was exposed, Roach insisted he was robbed, and fans started saying Tank had lost his edge.
Oh, and that right, but Davis took off some of the steam of the punch, but still, Roach leaned with right. He took a knee. He took a knee. What is he doing?
He forgot his... It's got to be a knockdown.
What in the world is happening?
Took a knee. He's got to count.
This is a knee. Listen to me. I understand. If you take a knee like that, that looks like a knockdown. All right? Understand. Back up. Back up.
Now Tank finds himself stuck between two battles. One against Roach, who's hungry for redemption and revenge, and one against Jake Paul, who's out to change how people see him. Tank's trying to handle both, but the real problem is he's spending too much energy on Jake. Jake Paul isn't Lamont Roach. He's not a ranked fighter or chasing titles. He's chasing attention and drama. But the risk is real because Jake isn't the rookie he used to be anymore.
is this Logan Paul? Is he a legitimate boxer?
A legitimate boxer, yes. People mocked me when I was saying that before, but now I think people are coming around. I say, if this kid was not a YouTuber, if he wasn't some guy that you knew from the time he was like 16 years old on YouTube, and you just saw him box, and you saw him knock out former UFC champions, you saw him beat legitimate boxers, you'd go, this kid can fucking fight.
Jake is a heavyweight, weighing close to 200 pounds. He's younger, driven, and has shown he can finish a fight with a single punch. Just ask Tyron Woodley. Meanwhile, Tank usually fights at 135, maybe 140 on a good day. This size difference isn't just awkward, it's dangerous. Jake Paul could seriously hurt him, and Tank knows that.
If you do fight, what weight would it be at?
195. It would be an exhibition.
Okay, so it was going to be an exhibition, not sanctioned, but no restrictions. You can knock each other out and shit like that. It was going to be at a catch weight of 195 pounds, 10 rounds, 3 minutes. I've been trying to figure this out. Why was I a Tank hater for wanting to see Tank go up 5 pounds to get some smoke with like Teofimo Lopez or something? I just wanted to see him go up 5 pounds and fight Teofimo Lopez. And all of you were saying, you want Tank hurt, Showbiz. You a hater. You want him hurt. Then I'm convinced, okay, he's too small, but he can fight Jake at 195?
Losing to Jake Paul would be a huge setback for Tank. It would make the Roach draw seem like a minor bump. His reputation would take a serious hit. For someone already dealing with criticism, legal issues, and public pressure, it could be the final blow. That Vegas punch is riskier than it seems because now Jake has the momentum. He's grabbing headlines and dominating the conversation, not Tank. Meanwhile, Floyd Mayweather is watching it all with a smirk. Behind the scenes, Floyd and Tank, once a close mentor and student, have become rivals. Interview 16, Floyd was reportedly furious when Tank ended his relationship with Calvin Ford. Now, Floyd has taken on training Lamont Roach, who's currently Tank's biggest threat.
Set you off that you was like, I gotta do that.
A lot of people don't know that what Floyd do. He said.
So you feel like it was a sub, like he was subbing you, like, oh, like
he was going at me. He was going at me, and I knew for sure he was going at me. That's why I went at him. There's no reason for me to go at Floyd.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Cause I feel like y'all got, I wouldn't say love and hate, but it's been like the last interview you showed them love. This week it was whatever. But is that sometimes like, you know, is it just like big bro, little bro seeing things different, or what is it to you?
No, Floyd don't never. He felt as though I'm at that point where as though I passed him. And I'm doing it at a young age. Wait, like when Floyd was 29, you'll see, bro.
Yeah.
That deal that I'm talking about.
Yeah. Oh, that's a part of this.
He don't know about that yet. But that's bigger than his deal.
Damn. Wow.
And I'm just releasing
this
it.
Exclusive. That's exclusive. Bigger than Floyd deal?
Yeah.
Tank no cap, nigga. That's a lot of bread.
You'll see. It's gonna come out.
Floyd was said to be furious when Tank ended things with Calvin Ford. Now, Floyd is training Lamont Roach, who is currently Tank's biggest challenge.
Shit, he better. He better take me serious, but I don't think so. I think they training. I think they're training as hard as they can. You know, I think they trying to put a little mastermind squad together to coach for this fight. And you know, it's gonna be a good fight. I'm gonna tell you like this: we're preparing for the best Gervonta Davis that's gonna be, you know, that everyone's ever seen. That's what we're preparing for. We're not preparing for a guy who might not be focused. We're not preparing for a guy who might be lazy or anything like that. We're preparing for the best version of him.
It's like the last move in a chess game. Floyd isn't leading Tank to victory anymore. He's helping shape the fighter who could take him down. With all this Jake Paul drama, Floyd's probably thinking the same thing most boxing fans are. Why is Tank wasting his prime chasing easy, flashy fights?
You got your eye on Tank. What do you think about the rumors of Tank and Jake fighting?
Man, Tank disrespectful to the sport if he choose that over fighting with me. I'm the best fighter in the sport. I've been telling him that. He called cap on it. So if he won't call cap and say I'm not who I say I am, come prove it.
Tank Davis is a once-in-a-generation fighter, but lately, his choices show signs of burnout. He's dropped hints about retiring, gotten into online fights, and lost focus. He ended things with his longtime trainer and is taking on Jake Paul while avoiding top contenders like Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney. It feels like the game is starting to slip away from him.
Tank Davis, Lamont Roach. I think we need to start with that one.
Yeah.
What transpired in that fight was astounding, because you have to remember Tank Davis was a 16-1 favorite going into this fight. Lamont Roach, while a WBA champion, was moving up from 130 pounds, and no one thought he had a chance. And the general demeanor of Tank Davis going into this fight was like, hey man, I'm kind of done with this. I got 3 fights left. I'm going to be done by the end of 2025. I don't really like this sport anymore. Kids, don't do this. Go into soccer. This ain't...
And the worst part, Jake knows all this. He knows Tank is distracted. He knows the size gap is real, and now he's figured out how to get inside Tank's head. Right now, this isn't a good fight for Tank Davis.
Tank was looking past Roach, and he wanted that Jake Paul fight, which I think Jake Paul would have beat. Jake is way too big. Tank is 5'5", 135, soaking wet. Y'all think Tank is too small for 140. He ain't beating no heavyweight. I'm not joking. I don't think he would have hurt Jake. He would have to jump up to reach. I don't think he would have hurt him. I tell you this, it would have gone the distance, and people would have been laughing their asses off, and it wouldn't have been good for Tank's brand. I tell you that. That fight would have went the distance. Soon as 5'5" Tank is looking at a 6'2", 6'3" Jake Paul, y'all would have been like, hold, wait a second. And Jake Paul be on spread out pause with that arm out and stepping back. And bro, I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. But that's a tap, fine. We'll never get to fight anyway. So we'll never know.
If Tank goes into the Jake Paul fight trying to prove something instead of focusing on his skills, that's when Jake could land a lucky punch. And let's be honest, if Jake connects clean, Tank could be out cold.
This might be the worst thing that ever happened in the history of humanity. Jake Paul is set to fight Gervonta Tank Davis in November. This is ridiculous. First of all, Tank, I know you're known for not taking the hardest fights, but you at least fight actual boxers. What are you doing? You know, besides getting that bag. Second, Jake, why are you doing this? You're a bad person. Let's ignore the fact that I have personally watched this man rob a PF Chang's. Let's talk about his refusal to fight real boxers. He gets criticized for refusing to fight real boxers, so he fights Mike Tyson, a 60-year-old boxer. He gets criticized for fighting a 60-year-old boxer, so he fights a current championship boxer who is literally 100 pounds lighter than him. Tank Davis is a lightweight, 135 pounds. Jake Paul is a cruiserweight, 235 pounds. You're never beating this fraud allegation, Jake, so why are you doing this? What do you guys think of this fight? And don't tell me anything good. Say it in the comments, though.
If Tank enters the fight against Jake Paul trying to prove something instead of focusing on his skills, that's when Jake could land a lucky punch. And honestly, if Jake connects clean, Tank could be out cold.
Tank's super skilled. Even though he's smaller than Jake.
It's like you with Mayweather. When you beat Mayweather, you were way bigger than Mayweather. That's why you won.
First person to beat him in history, and he still didn't pay me. Allegedly, in my opinion. Fuck off.
It's crazy how everything flipped. This was supposed to be Tank's big moment, his comeback after Roach, his return to form, following Floyd's playbook. Instead, it's falling apart. Vegas showed us this isn't fake or staged anymore. Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis truly hate each other now, and that anger is sparking a fire that could burn everything in its path, including Tank himself.
Gervonta Davis is one of, if not the best, biggest names at 135 pounds, and is an active in his prime fighter. I don't want to hear the similar to Floyd and Logan thing, because at that point, Floyd was retired. Floyd had done all he needed to do in the sport. Tank is still in his prime, still has multiple high-level opponents that he needs to fight. And you can say, oh, you know, the Jake would be a one-off. Side quest. That's fine, but that just tells me that Tank doesn't care about being a high-level champion in the sport anymore. It tells me that he's done competitively in the sport. If he takes a fight with Jake Paul, it tells me he's done. And that's unfortunate. Yeah, Tank has been talking about retirement, but if he goes this route, it's almost certain. Like, it's pack it up.
That's it for today's video. If you liked it, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss any of our new videos. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next one.